Hello everyone, welcome back to Ramon at Home. I'm so excited you're here today because in today's video, I'm gonna share with you 5 lantern decorating ideas for fall. Yes, fall is upon us and it is time to get decorating. So I gathered together a compilation of some of the most beautiful fall lanterns that I've done here on the channel and I could not be more excited. So before we get to that, I wanna take a second to thank this week's members, and they are Trudy Torito, Melba Murata, Jewel Knox, and Martha Psalms. I really thank you, yay, for becoming the new members. Your contribution really helps me produce better videos for everybody. You can claim your badge now, and if you want to become a member, all you have to do is follow the link in the description box below. And there's going to be a join button somewhere under this video. Remember, this has to be done through a computer. If you want to support this channel, you can claim your badge, and then also you can start enjoying the perks for members only. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out all of the lanterns in the description box below. If you guys have not seen our Christmas trends video, I really recommend that you watch it right now so you can get inspired for the holiday decorating. It's a whole hour of beautiful Christmas trees and decorating ideas and trends so that you can get ideas in advance and go shopping right now. All right, well, you guys, with all of that said, if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. If you already subscribed, don't forget to turn the notification bell on so you will not miss any of the future updates. The holidays are coming and you will not want to miss any of that. Let's get started with idea number 1, a cute little fall lantern DIY I really think you're going to enjoy. Let's watch. All right, everyone, so for our first fall DIY, what we're going to do is we're gonna decorate this little lantern and we're gonna make it look really fabulous. For that, what we're going to need is some leftover fall ribbon. This came from the dollar store a few years ago, and you guys know that I like to recycle my ribbon. Just roll it like this and put it away at the end of the season. I'm gonna use my scissors, one of these pipe cleaners, a zip tie, an LED candle with a remote, of course this cute little lantern, and a selection of foliages, berries, and a pumpkin. This is going to be super simple, so I'm actually just gonna push everything aside and I'm going to get started. The very first thing I want to do is create a cute little swag. And for that, what we're going to do is we're going to get our longest piece, like this little bushel of wheat. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna separate it in two and I'm gonna push some of them up to kind of get a core. So right here in the middle where we separate is going to be our core, where everything's gonna radiate from, all right? So then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab some of these leftover pieces and I'm going to stagger them, one facing up. Remember, what goes up must come down. So you want to make sure that you never let go of your core right here. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add one of these berry foliages. This actually was a pick that I took apart from Hobby Lobby, because sometimes, you know, you pay for your items, might as well just go ahead and use them. Now what I want to mention right here is that when you put one up like that, you need to come to the opposite side to stagger them, so that way it creates more texture when you finish your swag. Then I'm gonna grab a few of these berries and I'm gonna just stagger them up and down, creating this radiating motion from all over my swag. Then what you need to do is you need to grab your pipe cleaner and your zip tie, and we're gonna zip tie all of this together real quick. As tight as you can without letting go of your core. That way, well, it doesn't come falling apart. Okay, so then I'm gonna cut the excess. I'm gonna put that to the side. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm gonna create a cute little bow. And I just wanted a small bow because it is a small lantern, so I'm gonna leave just a small tail, probably about 4 inches. And I'm gonna do a cute little bow, making sure that it's proportionate to my lantern. And if you guys haven't, I'm sure by now everybody knows how to make a cute little bow. It's super easy. This is gonna be a simple bow that doesn't have to overpower our lantern. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna grab your pipe cleaner, push through, and give it a twist like this, and then we'll fluff. You don't want a bigger bow than this because you don't want to overpower the top of your lantern with all of your goodies. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna bring this swag and I'm gonna grab this pumpkin. This is going to be our focal point. I'm gonna join it right here, Then I'm going to add the bow to it. And really tightly, I'm going to secure all of this together by spinning it around like this. And then I'm gonna put this to the side. We'll fluff in a second. Now what I wanna do is I'm going to open my cute little lantern. I'm gonna insert this little candle that is battery operated, and I'm going to turn it on like that. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna put my swag on top of my lantern. This would be really cute for a side table. This could be really cute for an entryway table. I've done a chandelier with multiple of these. If you guys haven't seen that, I'm going to link it down below. It was a Christmas chandelier that it was just so cute with multiple lanterns decorated for Christmas. And so basically you just want to attach this to the back very tightly. And once you have that done, you want to fluff your bow. Make sure that you see some of that bow and that pumpkin. I'm going to spin it around to me so I can see what I'm doing. Perfect. And at this point, what you want to do is also you want to give it a little curvature like that. And just like that, you have a cute little lantern. Wasn't that little lantern super sweet? You guys, that can be used in a little side table, on an entryway table, or even a set of them going down the table for a tablescape. It is super easy and I know you can do it. But now I'm gonna show you a medium-sized lantern that is a little different, and I really do think that you're going to learn a few tricks on how to decorate a beautiful lantern for fall. Let's watch. Okay, so the next step is to decorate the outside of our lantern, and the way I'm going to do that is I'm gonna start with my burlap ribbon. So I'm gonna get it out of this little roll, and I wanna give it a tail probably about, I wanna say about 10 inches. I'm gonna dovetail the end first. I'm gonna measure it like that, and then what I'm going to do is I'm gonna pinch, and I'm gonna give myself about a 5-inch loop. Remember, there's going to be some greenery, so we want it to be very prominent. And I don't know if you know, but the way to check if your tails are even is to fold them down like this. And I can already tell this one's taller just by pulling like this. So what I need to do is I need to give it a little give, pull back down, and look, now they're perfect. So I'm gonna stop right there, and then I'm going to introduce my shiny ribbon. I'm gonna drop it on the floor, and I'm gonna give it a shorter tail, about 2 inches shorter. I'm gonna introduce the tail right there. Then I'm going to pinch right here about the same size of my other bow. I'm gonna add right there, and then what I'm going to do is I'm gonna add one more burlap bow, but this time I want to make sure that it's about 2 inches shorter than the last one, so they stagger together like this. And then you just pinch, make sure you fluff as you go. The beauty of this ribbon is that it's not printed, so you don't really have to worry about twisting. Just make sure that you pinch really good. And so now I'm gonna do the same with this other ribbon. Look how easy this was to create this beautiful bow with 4 loops. And I'm gonna go ahead and just basically bend right there and pinch right here on the bottom. Super easy and simple. I'm gonna give this one another bow because I want it to be the prominent ribbon. So I'm basically just gonna pinch right here, and then I'm gonna come over to this side. Then I'm gonna pinch one more time, and that's going to be our end tail right there. So now we have 3 of the printed, 2 of the burlap. And you know what? I have just enough ribbon for maybe 1 more. So let's see what that looks like. You know, that's all about playing with this bow. Yeah, I think it needs it. Look at that. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it yet another one here. And now we have enough ribbon just for another tail. So now I'm gonna grab my wire, and I'm gonna go through all of this without letting go of your core and pulling really, really tight like this. And then you twist. And now that it's twisted, you can really fluff these bows. Make sure that they all show. Oh, this one's not dovetail. Remember what I tell you about dovetailing? Did you ever had a ribbon that was not dovetail? Leave me a comment down below and let me know if you ever not dovetail your ribbon. I don't know anyone that, well, I've been to a few homes, but if you are a crafter, you know you have to dovetail your ribbon, right? All right, so the finessing of the ribbon is what takes the longest, because you want to make sure that you pull every single one of them like this. And perfect. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab these two right here, and I'm gonna stagger them together like this, and I'm gonna bend some of them like that over to that side because I want them to drip over to the other side. And then this one right here, I want to make sure that all of these branches do show. And so this will be our core right here. That's where I'm going to introduce my ribbon, and I'll make sure that all the tails are going down. Just make sure that you pull really tight, and then you spin it around like this. And look at that. So now, okay, so now I need to bring the inside of it first. I'll be right back. All right, so we're gonna do this full DIY in 2 steps to decorate the lantern. The inside is gonna be done first. And in order to do that, I'm going to go ahead and grab my hot glue gun, and I'm gonna add some hot glue to this piece of foam. Just be generous, remember to be generous so it sticks to your little tray. You really need it to stick to the little tray because that's how you're going to carry your candle into the lantern. All right, so once it's stuck like that, what you want to do is you're going to go ahead and put your candle in here. I'm going to go ahead and turn it on so you guys can see what it looks like. And I'm going to start by adding some of these foliages, but I want to add the tallest ones first. So I'm going to add this one right here like this. And then I'm going to start to cover the perimeter of this like this, making sure that you go up and down, and then also that you spin around as you go so you can cover all of the perimeter. Remember, up, down, and because I don't want it to cover the front, this is going to be the front, then what I need to do is I need to add all of the tall ones over to the back, but remember to always cover the bottom of it. So I'm going to go ahead and add this one right here in the front like that, and just start to spin around like this. You want to cover this whole perimeter without covering the front of it. This is going to be super simple, but it's going to be really striking once it's all said and done. So I'm going to continue to go around the perimeter just with these short ones right here. And remember, what goes up must come down. I'm going to grab my wire cutters over on this side to cut a few of these ones short so I can go ahead and cover it like that. Perfect. I'm going to add one more right here. Then what I want to do is I want to grab some of these bittersweet, and I'm going to do the same. So I'm going to basically make sure that I have some going forward and sideways. And I'm going to do one over here to this side. Basically what we're doing is framing the candle with foliages and bittersweet. All right, I think a few more on the front like this. We want it to look wild. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab one of these pumpkins. I'm gonna add one right here. Then I'm gonna cut this one a little bit shorter, and I'm gonna add this guy over here like this. And then I'm gonna grab this other one. I'm going to bring it over probably to this side right there. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to grab some leftover moss from a past project. So I'm going to pull out my moss, and I'm going to get little clumps like this, and I'm going to bunch them together, and then you're going to stick them where you can see your foam. Now you could have done this step first. However, the reason why I didn't do it first is because this foam is really difficult to work with to put the stems, and then also I want the moss to really show. So if you put the moss in first, what's going to happen is that the foliage is going to cover it, and I want this moss to look natural. Look at that, it just covers the mechanics, it gives it a little bit of space, and that's what it looks like. all you have left is to tie your swag for your lantern. Make sure that you do it really tight, and then hide that wire. And what you want to do is you want to go ahead and fluff all of your bows and dovetail some. Like this one, I feel like it needs to be shorter, so I'm just gonna go ahead and dovetail a little bit shorter. Don't be afraid to cut your ribbons. I'm always telling you guys to don't be afraid. And just make sure that all of your bows and ribbons are going the same way. I'm gonna put this on my lacy Susan to be able to spin it around my way. Then pull some of these down like this. Okay, so I just wanna give you a quick look at the end product, and I just love how bountiful this looks. The candle just gives it that warm fall feeling, and I absolutely love the way this turned out. As you guys can see, creating a beautiful lantern is super easy, and it can be really affordable. I cannot wait to read your comments. Now I have to admit, this particular lantern is one of my favorite ones I've ever done, because I like the little centerpiece that I put inside of it that also can be separated and used as a little side centerpiece for a small tablescape as well. So many ideas for fall, and I cannot wait to come up with brand new ideas. So keep watching and stay tuned on this channel. Be sure to turn the notification bell on. You will not want to miss what's next. All right, you guys, so now we're gonna move on to the next fall lantern DIY, decorating a beautiful big lantern step by step. And I really do think you're gonna like this one as well, so let's watch. Okay everyone, to decorate this beautiful lantern for fall or Thanksgiving, what we're going to need is obviously a beautiful lantern. Now a lot of people have asked me how big this lantern is, so don't mind me while I cross right here on the table so that I can get a tape measure. And I'm gonna tell you guys right away how tall this lantern is. It is a big one, and it would be so beautiful outside on an urn. So it is about 35 inches tall, and it is about 12 inches square. So 35 by 1 foot, for those who were wondering. Also, what we're going to need is this Christmas greenery, and you guys know that I love to use the garlands for not only Christmas but also for fall. I'm gonna use a variety of foliages. I'm gonna use these 2 ribbons, and I'm gonna use burlap and this beautiful pumpkin with glitter in it. Now these are recycled ribbons that I got. This is from Shinoda, the pumpkin one, and this is from Walmart. Then also I'm gonna use a variety of Christmas ornaments in the full colors, like this brass, and then this really pretty glittered, I think it's more like a pumpkin color, so pretty. And then also we're gonna use some sunflowers and pumpkins. All right, let's get started. We're gonna make this really quick in real time for you guys to see how easy it really is to decorate a beautiful lantern for fall. And the very first thing you need to do is you're going to fluff all of your greenery after you place it onto the top of your lantern right here. And you want it to be about equally draping on each side. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm gonna bring this ribbon, I'm gonna just drop it on the floor, and I'm going to start right here. And I wanna leave a tail going down, and I'm gonna start doing some loops, or yeah, I wanna call them loops. They are probably about 5 inches right here. And then I'm gonna, with the same bristles from the garland, I'm going to attach. Then I'm gonna kind of calculate about the same length. As you guys can see, I'm gonna bear to my lantern, and this is on a Lazy Susan. The Lazy Susan you guys always see me use when I make centerpieces and other floral arrangements, because I really like to be able to spin the project that I'm working with. And you see how right here is really tight? Well, I'm going to go ahead and just pull up, and I'm gonna bring my scissors, and I'm going to dovetail this guy right here. And I'm gonna go ahead and do the same on the back. However, I don't have enough of the ribbon right here, so I'm gonna go ahead and bring this one. And because it is going to be sitting flat against the wall, then I don't want to be as precise on the back, but you do want to put some ribbon on the back in case that your table is lower, then your eye is going to be able to see over it, and you want to make sure that you see all of these beautiful ribbon all throughout your lantern so it looks finished on all sides. Thumbs up if you guys are enjoying this fall series. We've done so many cool projects this fall series and we're just getting started. However, also we are gearing up for the holiday season, and let me just tell you, this Christmas season you will not want to miss Ramon at Home videos, because we're going big at Ramon at Home. We're doing all of these beautiful, fabulous projects, and they're all going to be just absolutely gorgeous, like nothing I've ever done before here on the channel, and I cannot wait for you guys to see. All right, so I'm gonna cut right here some dovetails. I'm gonna go ahead and dovetail this guy while I'm at it, because if I come to your house and if you don't have your ribbons dovetailed, trust me, I will ask you for scissors so that I'm able to dovetail them for you. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some of this burlap ribbon, and I'm gonna start right here. So I'm going to pinch and just leaving a little tail. I'm gonna make sure that you leave a little tail just so it has enough of the ribbon hanging down. Then what you wanna do is you wanna pinch, and I want this ribbon to be in the middle of the 2 rows of pumpkin ribbon, and this is just for texture. I'm gonna go over the lantern and I'm gonna attach right here. I want it to look really full and plentiful, because I feel like that's what fall is about. It's about bountiness and plentiness and full beautiful displays of beautiful fall items like pumpkins and gourds. And all right, so I'm gonna leave right here, and I'm gonna dovetail one more tail, and making sure that I have all of my ribbons. All right, so I'm gonna just use this little piece right here, and I'm gonna put it right in the back. I'm gonna pinch right in the middle, and I'm gonna attach right here. And I'm just gonna do 1 loop to each side. I just love reading your guys' comments. You guys have left me some really awesome comments that you've learned so many tricks here at Ramon at Home. So be sure to leave me a comment down below and let me know which was the first video that you saw here at Ramon at Home. I'm really interested to know how were you introduced to this channel. I would love to read your comments. So just leave me a comment below and let me know what was the first video you watched here at Ramon at Home. All right, so far this is what it looks like. We have all of our ribbons, and you know that we always go back at the end and we fluff the ribbons because we continue to work with items and they're gonna get flattened out. But here's a tip: you want to give some give to your ribbon so that way it gets smooshed with other things. You are able to go in there and fluff and make it look how it's supposed to. All right, so now I have these beautiful foliages, and I have these 2 stems. These 2 stems came from Hobby Lobby, and this magnolia right here came from Pier 1 when they were still in business. But you can use any foliage that you may have already, or if you want to go out and buy. But here's a tip: I like to use a bigger foliage like this big leaf, and I like to mix it with a smaller foliage just to give the project more texture. So I'm going to start right here, and I'm going to introduce, and just using some of those bristles, I am going to attach, and that'll stay right here. Now remember, what happens on the right happens on the left. So I'm going to bring yet another one of these foliages all the way over to this side. And what this step does, what happens on the right happens on the left, it just helps you balance your arrangement. As you guys can see, there's some of the same items on both sides, and that's just gonna keep the balance on your bouquet or your arrangement. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it a curvature like this. I'm gonna insert right here in the middle, and then I'm going to attach with my bristles. Just give it a spin like that. Then I'm gonna go over to the other side, and about the same place where I did the other, I'm gonna attach right here some of these foliages like that. So now you have all that foliage all the way around. So now I have some of this, but this comes in a longer form. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut some smaller forms. And I'm always telling you guys, don't be afraid to cut your greeneries or your foliages, because you already paid for it. You know, what's the point of having all of these foliages and then at the end of the season you just store them, when you can go ahead and use some of these foliages shorter, and they just look better on your projects when you cut them the right length. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and add one right here. Then I'm going to spin around, and I'm gonna add another one. This one is too long, first of all, so I'm gonna cut right here. So now I have two shorter ones, as you can see. So I'm gonna add one right here in the front, just attach with the bristles, and I'm gonna go one step further up right here. And as you can see, it's gonna continue that foliage all the way throughout. And by attaching this with the bristles of the greenery garland, you can put this outside and there is no gust of wind that's going to be able to take apart your project, because it's really well attached with those bristles. And let me just say, they just stay there. All right, so I have a few left. I'm gonna go ahead and put this on the back. So there's some of it on the back just hanging out. Once again, in case that your eye travels back there, as you guys can see, just by adding that little touch, it really looks finished all throughout. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna bring my ornaments and I'm gonna start placing them on my garland. And I already went ahead and pre-wire them. You guys know that I like to pre-wire with a 22 gauge wire. I just cut them in half, and I like to give myself a long tail. That way I have some wire to attach. And as you guys can see, I'm just gonna go ahead and circle once to the right, and I'm just gonna place the ornament there. I'm gonna bring one right here, and I like to alternate. I use one of the shiny ones over on this side, so I'm gonna use one of these right here. And as you guys can see, just by giving it one twist to the right, and it'll stay right where you need it. So now I'm gonna alternate to this guy right here. I'm gonna add one right here hanging down, and just one twist to the right. And the reason why I want you to do just one twist to the right is because then taking them apart or taking them down from your tree, you know that all of the ornaments went just one twist to the right. All you have to do is one twist to the left and your ornament will come right off. And because it's attaching to a garland or to a bristle on a Christmas tree, then it is super easy. As you guys can see, look, one twist to the right. I'll leave it there. I hide this wire because it's long. So when I go in and take it out, all I have to do is one twist to the left and my ornament comes right out. And that way I don't struggle to take my pieces apart. So now I'm gonna bring one to the back. I'm gonna add this one right here on the back. One, hi. Well, the other tip is, if you have these ornaments, I recommend you glue the little cap, so that way you can be, well, a little bit more aggressive like I am right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick that one up here in a second, but first I'm going to finish. Let's see, let's spin it around. I feel like I need one right here on the top. So I'm going to add this one right here and just attach, place it in place. Let's see. And I'm gonna end with one down here, hanging down with the ribbons. And I'm gonna add and make sure that it hangs down like this. One twist to the right, making sure that I got that. All right, so I'm gonna rescue that ornament. I'm gonna glue it together and I'll be right back. Stay tuned. Okay, now I'm back and I'm going to go ahead and add some of these sunflowers that I went ahead and cut short, because once again, just by adding this sunflower and just giving it a twist with one of the bristles of the garland is going to stay in place. So there's no need really for gluing, because that's really going to lock it and secure it right here. So I'm gonna add one right here on the top. So I'm gonna go ahead and add this one, just making sure that I go through my garland and then attach with the bristle. Now, if you wanted to feel more secure about it, and if you want to glue it, go ahead and glue it. I'm not saying don't, but I just don't really think that if you need to, if you are really using the bristles on your garland to secure it where it needs to go. As you guys can see, just one twist on the head of the flower, it'll withstand the wind. So far, so good. I'm gonna go ahead and add just one here on the back, because we want it to be finished all the way around. And so now I'm gonna add some of these pumpkins that I have. These came from Hobby Lobby and they are 40% off right now. So go and stock up. So I'm gonna go ahead and add one right here. And I'm gonna go ahead and go up like this. And I'm gonna grab this bristle and then just twist it on the stem and push that pumpkin right there. Look how that just stays right there. So I'm gonna add another one right here. So I'm gonna go up on this one. And I'm gonna go ahead and add this bristle, give it a twist. And like I said, we're gonna go ahead and fluff all of these ribbons towards the end. So there's two, and I feel like we might need one right here. This one I'm gonna go ahead and point up like this. Make sure that I have a bristle to attach to, and here's one. Just go ahead and twist that up. And as you guys can see, it all stay right there in place. And I have my last ornament that I broke earlier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for a place. It's becoming full. So I'm going to look for a place. I'm going to attach it right here. Just remember, one twist to the right and hide your wire. And so now what we need to do is we need to fluff all of our ribbons, and I'll show you what that looks like. So stay tuned. Okay, so now that your lantern is all done up on the top, what we need to do is do something inside of it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this little wooden razor. I'm gonna add it right here. And if you guys saw the shopping haul that I did from Shinoda Design Center, you know I am in love with this cute little owl that is made out of this really cool grass material with a beautiful pilgrim outfit. I just think he's absolutely adorable. So I'm gonna place him inside of my lantern. And then I have all of these leftover flowers from past projects, and so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and cover the bottom, and actually I'm going to take him out first. It's a good idea to go ahead and cover the bottom with flowers and pumpkins and gourds, so that way it covers the stand and he looks like he is floating on some field of beautiful, full, bountiful flowers like this. Make sure that you want to give it a spin around to make sure all of it is covered. Once it's covered, go ahead and add some cute little pumpkins right here, maybe right here, just so there is some texture. And he looks like he's fell into a field of bountifulness. So I'm gonna put him right here on the top, and that's what it looks like. What do you guys think? This ginormous lantern would be so beautiful on an entryway table or even outside, you guys. Can you imagine two of these flanking the door somewhere in your home? It would be just spectacular. Now, I do want to mention there's going to be other fall lantern DIYs in the description box below. So if you are enjoying this video, be sure to check out the rest of those lanterns down below. So now I want to share with you a beautiful neutral fall lantern. I really think you're gonna like this one as well, so keep watching. Okay, so step number one is super easy. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some of this dry foam into this mint julep cup. Then I'm gonna grab some of this green moss, and I wanted to do green just to have a pop of color. I have also gray moss, but I just thought the green would really make a pop to where gray, it would be a little bit more muted, and I feel like it's already muted enough with our ribbons and all of the items that we're gonna be using. So I just decided the green, and I want it to be a little wild like this. Just so it looks like the pumpkin is sitting on a pit of moss. And then what I'm going to is I'm gonna grab my pumpkin and I'm gonna insert a skewer, and I'm gonna put it right here in the middle. These pumpkins are made out of styrofoam, and you wanna make sure that it's a little bit sideways like this or askew, so that way it really inserts beautifully into your foam. So then I'm gonna do is I'm gonna insert this guy. At this point, if you wanted to, you could add a little bit of glue. I'm not going to, because you guys know that I like to reuse my materials to share with you all of these ideas. So now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab my lantern and I'm going to open it up, making sure that I go to the front, and then I'm gonna insert, I'm gonna put this guy right here. I'm going to insert this pumpkin, and I just have to like get on my tippy toes because, well, I'm too short. So there you go. It is simple, it is very elegant. And so now that we have the inside of our pumpkin all done up, make sure that it's latched in. That's what it looks like. So now I'm gonna work on the swag for the top. So let me get those materials ready. All right, you guys, so for the top of this particular lantern, I wanted to do something on these neutral colors. As you guys can see on the background, I really love me some fall colors, but I figured that for this year, we'd do something different. We've already done the traditional fall colors throughout the years here at Ramon at Home, so I thought that I'd show you something different. However, if you are not into the earth tones and the natural tones, you can just go ahead and replicate these with the materials of your choice. I'm just trying to show you something a little bit more different, so that way we have more options when it comes down to our decorating. So let me just take all of these tags off of these flowers and things, because we're going to cut them. So here you go. We're gonna have 2 of these beautiful roses. Then I'm gonna have a lily, and I'm gonna put them right here to the side. And I'm gonna start with this guy right here. So I want it to kind of hang down, but I wanna fluff it up a little. What I like about this foliage is that, look, you can really fluff by pulling these guys right here. And I want it to look full, but not overpowering my lantern. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fluff this one too, but you know what, I think that this one is too big. So sorry if I cross over here. I think I'm gonna cut it short, and of course I'm gonna use the rest of it for another project that I will be showing you in a second. So don't be afraid to cut your stems, you guys, because you already paid for it. And guess what, sometimes you get more use out of them if you cut them than if you try to keep them all whole. And my goodness, this one is a good quality one because it's hard to cut. All right, so now I'm gonna put this one over here to the side. I'm gonna actually pitch it for now. And I think for this particular one also, I'm gonna cut it. I'm gonna cut a little bit of it. Yeah, I think that's good. If I need to cut a little bit more, then I'll do that. But the reason I wanted to do that is because I want this larger one to be my base, right? And remember, where you grab right here, that's your core, and you never let go of that, because everything needs to radiate from that. So we're gonna layer 2 of these right here, like so, and then I'm going to come back, and right here at the core I need to put the other one. So basically I want it to be longer on the bottom and a little bit shorter on the top, staggering it like this. And then also I'm gonna add this one right here. So as you can see, it is way longer and fuller on the bottom than it is on the top, and you can always fluff this when we add our bow. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna add this beautiful lily, and I'm gonna add her right here. And then also this beautiful rose. I am obsessed with these roses. They are made out of burlap. Aren't they just adorable? And then I'm gonna add this other rose, but I'm gonna add it coming down like this. So I'm gonna put her right here. Okay, so now that we have everything right here at our core, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab my zip tie, and I'm gonna zip tie all of this together. So it's basically a bouquet of flowers, making sure that our zip tie is facing the right way. All right, oh, sometimes it's so hard to work just one hand, but we'll make do. Thumbs up if you guys are enjoying these videos. I'm having so much fun sharing brand new fall decorations, ideas, and decorating ideas for your home this fall. I'm super excited, and I really hope that you are as well. All right, so now that we have all of this, what I wanna do is I wanna cut some of these stems because they're way too long. So I'm gonna cut that one. We're gonna cut this one and this one. Also, you don't want them to be on the way of your, there you go. Now it's a little bit airier. So I'm gonna put this to the side for now, and what I'm going to do next is I'm going to make a beautiful bow. And I, for that, want, you know, this ribbon, I'm gonna tell you something. Sometimes this ribbon looks so pretty on the spool, but they are upside down. Because if I was to start to make a bow like this, then my pumpkins are upside down. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna drop it on the floor, and I'm gonna go all the way. You know, it's gonna be a little bit of work, but since we're gonna be using the whole bolt, then it's better if you do this. You know, also put it on the floor. So now our pumpkins are going to be the right way. I don't know why they always do that, but sometimes it's just hard when you're working. All right, so I'm gonna leave a tail about per 8 inches, and I'm gonna pinch right here. And I want a really pretty bow, so I'm gonna make a center loop. And if you guys have not seen my video where I show you how to make bows, 3 styles of bows, if you are a little bow challenge like how I was at the beginning, that's why I put out that video. I'm gonna link it down below, and so you guys can check it out. So basically you just pinch and then you spin. The secret here is on the spinning, because you wanna make sure that all of that pretty stuff is showing and all of your pumpkins are showing. You know what, I'm gonna do a six loop bow, and the middle one I'm gonna make it a little bit longer. But for that, what you need to do is you need to make sure that you separate these two. That way when you insert the next, you put it right here in the middle. And as you guys can see, look how pretty that turned out. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab a wire, and I usually like to have my wire taped, but because I wasn't prepared, I'm just gonna use it like this, but I usually like to tape it because it is way easier and it doesn't hurt your fingers when you pull on it. So I really do recommend to tape your wires. Okay, so I'm gonna pull really tight and then I'm going to spin right here like that. So now that I did that, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna cut this ribbon over here. And so now what I wanna do is I wanna add this ribbon bow to my swag over here. And look how pretty and neutral this is, you guys. I just love these neutral colors for fall. I think it's something different and I just love it. All right, so now I'm gonna spin it twice on the back, and with the same wires that I have, I'm gonna grab my lantern, I'm gonna spin around right here, and I'm gonna bring my lantern over here to the center. 1 second. Actually, yeah, let me do that real quick. So I'm gonna spin really tight right here, and we'll fluff in a second. I just wanna make sure that it's tight and secure right here on the back. So now what I want you to do is you're gonna squish this down like this and gonna arch it a little bit. Now I'm gonna spin it to me so I can see what I'm doing. Oh, that's so pretty. But what I do need to do is grab this tail and I'm gonna push it down. I'm gonna weave it down through all of it. So it goes down like this on my bow, and the same with this one right here. And then what you also wanna do is like these flowers, you wanna make sure you bend them up like this so they show. Let me see. That is so pretty, you guys. Look how gorgeous it is. A neutral pumpkin design for a lantern. Don't forget to dovetail, you guys, because I have been reading your comments and I've been called out so many times now for a few reads that I did that I forgot to dovetail. And sometimes when you make so many of them, you do forget, but not this time. You guys are not gonna get me on this design. Look how gorgeous this is. So now we're going to fluff right here. Make sure that this flower also comes down like this. Oh my gosh, how absolutely beautiful is this? All right, everyone, so I just wanted to give you a quick close-up of what this lantern design turned out to be like. And as you guys can see, the little pumpkin inside with the mint julep cup with just a touch of greenery, it's enough to make a statement. And what really makes the statement here is this beautiful bow with this pumpkin ribbon. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. And all of this eucalyptus really picks up from the ribbon, and just a few flowers does the trick to make it look fall, to make it look neutral and very earth tone. As I mentioned to you before, if these are not your colors, then you can always copy the design with your colors of choice. But remember, we'll be doing some traditional colors in a future video. This video is all about the neutrals for fall decorating, and I really hope that you enjoy it. What do you think? Wasn't that fun and unexpected? Let me tell you, the neutral colors this year are the biggest trend when it comes down to decorating for fall this year. And speaking of trends, if you guys have not seen our Christmas trends video, I really recommend that you watch it right now so you can get inspired for the holiday decorating. It's a whole hour of beautiful Christmas trees and decorating ideas and trends so that you can get ideas in advance and go shopping right now. All right, let's go back to our lanterns. This is going to be our last lantern, and it's a beautifully decorated lantern with an unexpected twist. I really think you're gonna enjoy it, so keep watching. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm gonna fill in the inside of it. So to do that, I have got to get my pumpkin out. So I'm gonna just get this guy out. I'm gonna put it back in because I might use this in another DIY. And then what I'm going to do is I'm gonna put this candlestick right here in the middle. And I'm gonna start filling in with some of these ornaments. I want the whole bottom covered, but I do have to alternate the colors so they are all over the place. Add in some black. You can move that little candlestick holder because we want it to be full of ornaments. I'm gonna move it forward, back, forward, some on the corner. And that's just gonna give you that full look. And I'm gonna add, oh, I think that will be, yeah, that's it. It doesn't hold anymore. Then I'm gonna bring my candle and I'm gonna set it right here in the middle. And I'm gonna close, making sure that this guy's secure. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it right here for now so that we can get started with the rest of our DIY. And now the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to cover this 16 gauge wire with some florist tape. It's very important that you cover it with tape because that way it won't hurt your fingers. And look, the way I do it is I just put my roll of tape right here. You pull a little bit. Now this is a tacky wax paper, so when you first put it right here on the top, all you have to do is roll it a little bit, and as you roll, you have to pull the tape. It has a stretch to it, and when you pull, it becomes tacky. So that way you can not hurt your fingers while you're working with this. So I'm just gonna make sure that I do this real quick. It's an extra step, you guys, but I promise you, you will not hurt your little fingers. All right, so I'm gonna put that over here to the side. I have a friend who's a chef, and every time that they do something like that, they say reserve, like reserve, put it to the side. So now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna do a cute little bow. And for that, I'm gonna bring out my scissors because I will be needing them. And I'm gonna start with this beautiful black and white D. Stevens ribbon. And for this, I'm going to dovetail. So I'm gonna start with a cute little dovetail. So I'm gonna do probably like about 6 to 8 inches. And I'm just gonna do a cute little bow, about probably 5-inch bow. And you fold down and then you bring it back up and you start gathering with your fingers. This is the trick, is to always spin and have the pretty side up. I'm gonna cut flat right here because I wanna continue adding some bows to my bow. So I'm gonna add some of this Decor material just to make it a little fluffier. I feel like this Decor material will actually add some girth to our bow. And so I'm gonna go ahead and put it on the bottom, about the same. And then I'm gonna do 2 loops of this Decor material. It's gonna give it a little bit of shine because the Decor material has that purple thread that I love that has some really pretty shine to it, or sheen to it. Are you guys enjoying this series? I'm having so much fun helping you decorate your home for fall. And I cannot wait for you guys to see what's next. Really, it's going to be a magical season coming up next. All right, so we have 2 now. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to introduce the next one, and for that, I'm going to put another tail right here without letting go. You know, I used to do bows different. This is almost like a funky bow, but it's all done in your hand, so you have to spin. And then what I'm going to do is I'm gonna pinch right here, and then I'm going to do it all over again, just upside down like this, and then I'm gonna cut right here. We're gonna fluff all of this in a second, like that. And so now I'm gonna introduce the last ribbon, which is going to be this orange one. And this one, I wanna give it a longer tail because it's gonna be our accent ribbon. It's gonna be on the very top. Then you pinch right here. Once you pinch, you bring it back up like this. And then you pinch and you twist, and then you bring it back up. And for this one, because it's the smallest one, you always want to give it an extra loop just to make sure that it's all showing. Because it is a little one, well, you want to make sure that you add a little bit more. All right, so I'm going to put that to the side. And for this bow, I'm going to do a zip tie to make sure that everything is zip tied together and secure very good, because you don't want your stuff to be falling off as you're having dinner with your friends, right? Oh, it's so hard sometimes with one hand, but we'll get it done. There you go. So now we're going to push really hard. Now, before I do that, I want to make sure that I introduce this wire that we just taped, because that's going to be what we use to secure to the lantern and to the swag. So just push really tight. So now I'm going to cut the excess. So now what you want to do is you want to fluff all of these cute little bows, and also you want to dovetail all of your tails. So I'm going to do that and I'll be right back with you. Keep watching. Okay, so the next step is to assemble our swag, and for that I'm going to bring out all of my stems that I have, and don't be afraid to cut your stems, all right? So what I'm gonna do with this one is I'm just gonna go ahead and bend one up. I just need one up. That's gonna be our core right here where we'll attach all of it. And then I'm gonna bring this guy right here. And also I need to remove this pesky tag. How many of you prep your work before you start working and get rid of all of your tags? And then as I go, also I wanna make sure that I cut some of these stems because I don't want them to be showing everywhere, all right? So I'm gonna add this guy right here. I'll cut it in a second. I wanna make sure that it's like showing right here. I'm gonna cut this stem. And then I'm gonna add this guy right here, but for this particular one, I kinda wanna make sure that I put some on the top. So what you wanna do is you wanna spin them up and around. And then also these ones, you wanna make sure that you play with them and fluff them and make them look more voluminous. Like this, voluminous, voluptuous, however you say that word. I'm gonna cut right here at the core. Then I'm gonna push them back like that. So this is kinda like what you have right here. Remember to push some of them back. Oh my gosh, I forgot a tag. Thumbs up if you guys are enjoying this series. Be sure to let your friends know. They will not want to miss any of the Christmas videos, trust me. All right, so that's what we have. So we have some fall. That's gonna be our swag right here. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna introduce this cute little bow that we made that is going to be so much fun. So I'm gonna add this right here. You know what, I'm gonna zip tie this together, but I'm gonna do it with a little zip tie to make sure that it doesn't fall apart. Okay. Oh, there's another tag, oh my gosh. I thought I cut them all. You guys, let me tell you, we do so many projects a day that sometimes I dream of tags that they're chasing me on my sleep. Isn't that funny? So I'm gonna cut this guy right here. And so now I'm gonna add the bow. It is easier to just let go and you don't have to like really press. Look how cute is this. We're gonna add this bow right here. And then we're going to attach really tight on the back. About 2 spins. And so now what we're going to do is we're gonna add into our lantern. Let me bring our lantern to the center. And I'm gonna just attach this right here. Give it a few spins. And let me see, let me spin it to me so I can see what's going on right here. You might wanna just give your bows a little fluff. And look how cute this is, you guys. This was basically a few minutes, as you can see, in real time. Oh, there's a tail that is not dovetail either. All right, so let's dovetail this last one right here because some of you have called me out on some of the ribbons that I forgot to dovetail, and well, I'm trying to be the best if I'm going to lead by example. All right, so there you go. Look how cute this is, you guys. It is super simple, super easy. All we have to do is turn our little candle on and you have now a beautiful fall Halloween swag. What do you think? I cannot wait to read your comments, so leave me a comment down below and let me know which out of the 5 fall lantern decorating ideas and DIYs was your favorite. Keep in mind there's other lanterns in the description box below, as well as the Christmas trends video that I like to put out every year to inspire you to shop ahead this holiday season. If you guys have not checked it out, I'm gonna put it somewhere here on the screen and then also in the description box below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I wanna thank one more time this week's members for joining this channel. I really appreciate your contribution. It really helps me create better content for everybody. If you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing and you can watch more videos right now. Until next time, bye.